Captain Dhruv Sawhney, an avid maritime leader, captain and co-founder of ShipsKArt and DV Ship Management. His focus is on employing great technology to achieve innovation and scalability in the marine space. He strongly believes no dream is big or small, an idea leads to innovation. With the latest Series A successful funding, ShipsKArt, a supply chain e-commerce solution for the maritime and offshore domain, is all set for the huge expansion with opening of warehouses pan-India and widening its services across the globe. The company has been selected by Port Excel and DTech as one of the most innovative startups in the maritime industry. With offices in Singapore, India, the Netherlands, and Bangladesh, ShipsKArt is currently providing services in more than 100 ports around the globe. On the other hand, DV Ship Management is a crew manning company providing the best marine talent to the most reputed companies in the world. Captain Dhruv's sailing experience includes 7 years within the offshore marine industry with Great Ship India and Bourbon Offshore MMI, and 7 years with the main fleet trading ships, oil tankers and bulk carriers with companies like Gearbulk, Bernhard Schulte Ship Management, K-Line and Maersk. He's a young entrepreneur navigating his own way towards success by pioneering tech-enabled maritime procurement. David Birwadkar is presently working as advisor and head of the Great Eastern Institute of Maritime Studies. Previous to this, he served as vice president heading fleet management, that is technical, procurement, and fleet personnel departments, concurrently and thereafter training and assessment department at Great Eastern Shipping, India's largest private sector shipping company, having joined there in December 2006. He has a degree in mechanical engineering and thereafter completed his marine engineering training from Mumbai Port Trust. David's shore career started with Wallam Limited in London in 1998 as technical superintendent and shifted to India, joining SR Shipping as technical superintendent and subsequently rising to the position of head technical tankers. He joined Anglo-Eastern Shipping Management India as General Manager in 2005 and was promoted to the post of Fleet Director and headed the India Technical Office till December 2006, after which he joined JESCO. Can we have a short video by Captain Dhruv?
Maritime procurement is a $100 billion market. A ship spends roughly $500,000 every year to run its operations, which requires uninterrupted ship supplies. However, most maritime companies still rely on conventional methods like spreadsheets and ERP software, which are inefficient, expensive, legacy-bound, antiquated, and limited. ShipsKArt is first of its kind B2B e-marketplace connecting all of the stakeholders, like ship, company, and vendor, through a single platform, customized to fit specific usage. Founded by seafarers, ShipsKArt has developed the first of its kind plug-and-play e-commerce platform for maritime procurement. Digitalize your procurement, online quotes, digitalize invoices, delivery notes, real-time spending pattern of your vessels, cost comparison between vessels, B2B approval process, online chatting with anyone within your organization, and much more. ShipsKArt is the only company in the world which provides complete end-to-end logistics, right from creating a requisition to approval of budgets to delivery and exchanges anywhere in the world. By partnering with industry giants, ShipsKArt aims to provide a complete, stress-free, and reliable experience of ordering and delivery of shipping goods to ships operating in India and around the globe. ShipsKArt's transparent platform and ethical work culture has further led to open dedicated warehouses and strategic alliances. Book us for a demo and be part of this revolutionary technology in the maritime industry. ShipsKArt. Click anywhere at sea, and we deliver it ashore. Maritime procurement is a $100 billion market. A ship spends roughly $500,000 every year to run its operations, which requires uninterrupted ship supplies. However, most maritime companies still rely on conventional methods like spreadsheets and ERP software, which are inefficient, expensive, legacy-bound, antiquated, and limited. ShipsKArt is first of its kind B2B e-marketplace connecting all of the stakeholders.
Representing ShipsKArt. I've had many a fanboy moments with a lot of people, most respected people in this audience. I was just telling Captain Basin how in 2003 when I was doing my pre-sea training and he was the guest of honor at one of our events at ARI, and to be sharing, not the stage, but yes, to be sharing, to be, in his presence, to have his presence at this event is certainly wonderful. I honestly feel like a carrot, in front of the speakers who've just spoken before me and the ones who want to speak later. But I'll try my best to hold my ground and do justice to this event. I believe Captain Nikunj Parashar would be speaking after me, and for entrepreneurial inspiration, I look no beyond him. I've followed his career since his captain days, and since the time in fact, both of us started with Port Excel together, and where he has reached, has actually inspired me in many ways, and he's been a very good friend to us, a guide and a mentor. I'll be obviously, you'll always be hearing from him later in the day. Coming back to ShipsKArt and the e-commerce companies, in every industry are a norm. You see the construction industry, the manufacturing industry, FMCG, furniture, everywhere e-commerce companies are a norm. But when you see maritime industry, we never had anything like an e-commerce marketplace, and that's where the idea of ShipsKArt was born. We wanted to build an Amazon-like procurement platform wherein we'll have the ships, the companies, and the vendor all on a single platform. So when I start with this slide, you'll see that annually a ship spends about $450,000, about $500,000 on procurement alone, which includes provisions, consumable products, and spare parts. And obviously you can add lube oils and some other commodities to it, making it a $100 billion market. And this is how we still work. The Excel sheet that you see here is the yellow one is actually from a company which has about 150 plus ships, a Singapore-based company, and they've copied and pasted pictures from Google onto that Excel sheet and and sent for getting quotations. And the one behind that is actually an ERP software ERP software requisition. So in both the things, the common factor is that there are no brand names, there are no sort of details about the product. And the picture also that you're seeing here is obviously a complete manual task. So that's what we wanted to change. We wanted to have, pictures. What you see is what you get, actual images of products, on the platform. So these basically were the problems. Sorry. So these basically were the problems that the captain on board or any crew member who's making these requisitions faced, and there were certain problems that the purchase manager was also facing. Receiving a barrage of requisitions on an average. Since the time we've started the company, we keep asking these questions to the procurement team: how many requisitions do they face? Do they receive in a month? And ideally, somebody handling about 10 odd ships receives close to about 300 to 400 requisitions. So receiving a barrage of requisitions and then basically acting as an intermediary between the technical or the procurement team and the vendor, because purchase executives, they might not have all the technical knowledge, and they have to obviously depend on approval processes, from their superiors, and then keep following with the vendors whether the delivery has been done or not. Obviously, you're working in different time zones, so that's another thing that you'll have to, bear in mind. And for every specialized or specific category, you're dealing with different suppliers. So yes, it's a Herculean task, and and no wonder all the purchase guys are always time pressed. And hence, ShipsKArt is a reality now. It's not something. It is something which is the need of the hour, and that's where we are right now. This obviously is the glimpse of how the purchase platform looks like. How you log in. You can obviously log in through our app as well. So you log in with your username and password, and the captain can just basically go on every category. You've got all the import products. You can add those products to the cart, and once you've added the products to the cart, you'll just have to fill some details like where the ship is going, what's the requisition name, what are the agent details, the delivery of the port of delivery, the ET and ETD, and if you have any specific message for the procurement team, you can also write that. So this is what we've done basically. As I speak, so one of my dreams was obviously, which I obviously could not do it as a seafarer, is that ordering from an app. And as I speak, we normally do about 1.5 crores of revenue from our Mumbai warehouse, and 80% of the ships which use our app or e-platform, they order everything from the app. And that's what makes me feel happy, that we've reached that stage, in the maritime industry, wherein, the captains are directly ordering from the app. So that's what you can do. You can actually, track your order real time, like how you track your Uber. You've got a spending pattern analysis, so you can actually real time monitor how much your ship is spending, in what category, in which port, like a complete bank statement that you have. You've got online quotations, real time bidding, live chatting feature, and you have a budget and inventory management system also. So this is what we've done so far. We've opened 2 warehouses in Mumbai and Kochi in the last 1.5 years. By 31st of August this year, we'll have a warehouse in Gujarat, and in the next 1 year, we'll have 3 more warehouses in Calcutta, Chennai, and Visakhapatnam, so that we'll be able to cover the entire India. I'll be very conservative if I say that we will be the biggest ship supplier, tech-enabled big ship supplier in India in the next 1.5 years, wherein you'll be able to order anything and everything through the app. We're also talking to private ports like Adani to have some sort of a warehouse within their ports. So, ships which call these ports the private ports, we'll be able to deliver them 24/7. You normally have these duty-free shops. Similarly, we'll be able to have these warehouses. And so we'll basically change the complete landscaping of procurement in India in the next 1.5 to 2 years. But I don't call ourselves just a company which is focusing on India. Obviously, we are an Indian company, and India would have been the first choice. However, we've been supplying orders. We've been delivering orders all across. In the last 3.5 years of our existence, we've delivered across 40 countries. We've got strategic relationships possibly in all those 40 countries where we've delivered. Last year, we had a sales of about $3.6 million, and this year we'll be doubling it up to $7.2 to $7.5 million. And I know, Captain Shekhar mentioned that funding is not the start and end of it, but yes, funding has actually helped us, exponentially rise. And as I was just talking about Nikunj Parashan, and he's here now, so he's missed the good things that I've spoken about him. So yeah, he's clicking a picture of mine now. But yeah, so that's where we are right now, and it's, I always keep telling this, that that once you see a certain sort of an acknowledgement from a foreign accelerator, people in India start taking you seriously. So when 2018, when we had this sort of we were selected by Port Excel, which happens to be a Dutch accelerator, focusing on maritime, and when I came back from Rotterdam to India, people started taking us more seriously, that, we've got an accolade now, we've got an accomplishment, we've got something. So it just, helped us, get that sort of a visibility. And thereafter, obviously, we won a competition organized by Dubai Chamber of Commerce. They gave us a free office space and, for a year to operate in Dubai. However, the highlight of, as Captain Shekhar was rightly saying, that there is a lot of emphasis on, money, funding coming in, and so not that after funding we have, it will be wrong to say that we've not grown. We've grown exponentially, but I think funding gave us that sort of stepping stone for growing, and also the visibility. The visibility was very important. So if you see here, we just raised 3 months back, and all the companies that you can see here, from Motion Ventures to Wami Capital. Motion Ventures obviously is a Mr. Seal would know, it's a company backed by Singapore government, and they invest only in maritime startups. Wami Capital is the family office of Transworld Group and Shreya Shipping, and TMV, as I said, TMV is a US based venture capitalist. They basically have shipping interest. One of the co-founders owns a company called Dorian LPG. So we were backed by strategic investors, and that really helped us, not only to get the money, but also the ships and obviously the connects. So we are working right now with some of the good names in the industry, and starting off with MOL Ship Management also now, in a bigger way. And this is what we are looking at next. Obviously, we're doing this simultaneously, but we want to tap the Alang market, the second-hand market. We want to list each and every product, from Alang on our platform. It's the most unstructured market, that is in India. You receive these sort of random emails from ship suppliers that, we have got these valves, these spare parts, and, some other products, whatever they are selling. But, to have that sort of a marketplace where everybody and anybody in India and around the world can see that I am selling this GPS, this is the model, these are the certificates, and I can ship it anywhere in the world. And this is the cost price of the GPS, and this is the air freight and the sea freight, whatever you would like. So that's sort of a transparency that we'll have, and this will be very, very huge, just like what we're doing with the new products. That's our team. I've sailed for 14 years, and so has Vivek. He's been my batchmate, pre-C batchmate, and Sunny, who's possibly the only person who's not from the shipping background here, but obviously he understands more about shipping than both of us combined now. Mr. Murli Krishna is the director of Alliance Marine Services, owns about 31 odd offshore vessels. Marina, as I said, has been at Intertanko for the longest time. She's been the president of Intertanko. She's born in a maritime family. Family owns Dorian LPG. Suin, I think anybody who is from Asia, maritime, would know Suin very well, and Mr. Shesh too. He's the former boss at Michelin Express Offshore. I think we've been very, very fortunate to had that sort of a backing. I still remember we are like seafarers, did not know anything much about how the world operates outside a ship. And, I remember reaching out to Shesh sir, and he actually, got us to make a investor memorandum. He said that it should have all the information that you require, in your, in whatever information you want to give to your investor. And the 25 pages that our investor memorandum have, I think 24 has been written by him. So, he's really, held our hands, and it's been a amazing journey where we've learned so much from him. So this is where you can reach us. We've got our local presence in India in 3 places right now, and as I said that in the next 1.5 years, we'll be all around, and we'll be covering all the seaports in India. I know it's lunchtime, so I wanted to keep it short, but if there are any questions, happy to answer.
So Dhruv, can I request you to be seated here, and somebody can give Dhruv a mic so that he can answer the questions post that. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and cadets. And yes, as Dhruv said, we are into the lunchtime, so I'm sorry about the delay. And Shaukat has warned me, nothing beyond 2 p.m., so we are going to restrict our question and answers. First of all, a wonderful presentation and a lovely way to take forward e-commerce in the maritime supply chain. And I think from the traditional maritime industry and what we do very, very traditionally, and we are used to doing everything traditionally, this becomes a welcome change. And I think it's really lovely. And the expansion plans which Dhruv has for his company and to take this process forward, I think that's awesome. Secondly, I can tell you, Dhruv, that Great Eastern, one of your clients, as you showed, and our head of procurement tells me, a lovely gentleman, despite being an entrepreneur and with huge dreams, and somebody who's really very approachable and very supportive, and the product is excellent. I mean, we are very happy with the way the procurement is being done for Great Eastern Shipping. So I guess this is the way forward. This is tomorrow, and I think that I'm sure there are a lot of questions to be asked by all of you all. But I have been listening, and I think I have a couple of questions myself, and I think one question from the various listeners on YouTube. So I'm just going to take them first, and then we can go ahead with the audience. So one was like, as I mentioned, this is a very traditional industry using age-old practices. So and we know we are all very reluctant to undergo digitization. So how does ShipsKArt break through the routines or this barrier?
So obviously, when we started out, as I said, in India, the being such a traditional industry, to break through, in any Indian company has been the biggest challenge. You'll have to actually pester them and go to their Bombay office every year and tell them that, this is what you're doing and this is how you can help them. So it was very, very difficult because the nexus and, the sort of, the relationship that Indian company specifically has with a vendor in India is so strong that it is impossible to break through. However, to our good luck, you see all the Indian companies from Seven Island Shipping to Great Eastern to Great Ship to Adani to Triton Maritime. I think whichever we have, wherever we have got an opportunity, we've never let it go post that. So, they've been our clients for last 1.5 years, and yes, it was a challenge to break through, but once we were given the opportunity, we've never let it go. Even I can add JSW to that. We're doing 17 ships for them. So yes, it was a challenge, but I think it helps. When you attend conferences like this, also you meet so many people, and it's not just about exchanging cards, but they do support an entrepreneur, a young company, and that's what has happened with us. Also, I've attended these events, and somewhere I'll just go and meet somebody at Adani, and thereafter exchange card, and he will further connect me with somebody. But that somebody will not help, then I'll again reach out to the person that I reached out, and he will put in a word. So it has helped us. We've been able to break through, and here we are. We're working with the best.
Okay, self-confessed young company, as you said, the pandemic has been an adverse situation for all of us, and your company being so nascent and just a baby, how did you overcome all the hindrances and the obstacles due to the pandemic and continue to stay afloat?
So yeah, pandemic obviously was difficult for everybody, and it was, but thankfully, our revenues never, went down. In fact, we added most clients during the pandemic because people were working from home. They had limited access to ship suppliers. They did not know which ship supplier would actually be able to supply at the port, and obviously we had like we are a marketplace for ship suppliers. So yes, it helped our revenue, it helped our growth. We added more clients, and yes, though pandemic was the worst thing that has happened to this world, but for our business, it was a blessing in disguise.
There is one question which I got from a viewer online. It says that since you mentioned about the recent funding, so what is the way ahead for ShipsKArt with this funding? What are the plans?
So with this recent funding, we are, as I said, opening more warehouses, or as I call, in a more fancy term, aggregator centers, where we can aggregate and supply to ships. So in the next 1.5 years, we'll have that pan-India presence, and thereafter, with the same funding amount, we'll be opening such centers in UAE and Singapore as well. So being a startup, we are not, we are very particular about the expenditure, the overhead expenses. So we're trying to collaborate with as many companies as possible, wherein the likes of Amazon, the likes of, like in India, we've collaborated with Big Basket, and so wherein they have the setup already with them. We just have to aggregate everything and push forward. So with this funding, we will be using the funds to expand mainly in India.
Yeah, that's wonderful to know. We hope to see more and more of it in the near future.
Thank you so much.
So I throw the floor open to the audience for their questions. Yes, can somebody give the mic?
Thank you, Viraf here. Captain Dhruv,
Can you introduce yourself so that the people...
Yeah, Viraf from Fleet Management Training. Good afternoon, everybody. Captain Dhruv, ShipsKArt, is there a potential for API gateway with the existing PMS system, computer-based, of course?
Absolutely. So, every company these days has an ERP software. So if we want to take this, forward and, make it a standard purchasing platform in each company, we have to have an API, and which we do. So, we can integrate our platform with possibly all the, existing platforms, so that, whatever the ship requires to, they can shop on ShipsKArt, and all the data that you require will be transferred to your API, transferred to your ERP software.
Thanks. And just half a question more. Currently, is there any kind of inventory management system also? Yes, requisition, yes, but is there some triggers for low inventory or something like that?
Yes, so we've basically got two inventory management systems. One is obviously for our in-house warehouses, and the second one is for the ship. Even the inventory management, also the budget management.
Right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Anyone else? Again, see.
Captain Dhruv, congratulations a ton.
Thank you,
sir. We are really proud to see, I can say, a youngster like you, because I was just trying to check when you started your sea career. And,
2003.
Yeah, it's in this millennium. So congratulations, first of all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
For taking it up and taking the plunge and making it happen. I have very simple questions. Being a seafarer, the things which used to come to my mind, I'm going to put it forward to you. It can be a question, it can be a suggestion. One mistake people used to do, searching from IMPA, they used to order things which was not applicable to the ship. For example, ordering things for a tanker and is not applicable to be used on a tanker. How are we taking that into account? And second is that people used to get wrong spares, either because of the wrong order or because of the wrong supply or substandard things on board, and they used to keep quiet over it. shove it in the store somewhere in the corner, chief officer after chief officer, it is just lying there, a waste for the company, for everyone. So how can we take care of these two things?
Sir, so basically, very, very valid questions, both of them. And the first question about, people are ordering through IMPA, but, it might not be required on board. So in that regard, we are following the B2B approval process. The captain or anybody, any officer on ship will just make a requisition. Obviously, it has to follow the due approval process. So it will go to the purchase executive, the superintendents, they will approve it. So you've got even in our platform, you've got an approval limit set. So if I've got an approval limit of $10,000, I will not be able to approve anything which is above $10,000. So you have an approval limit. You will see the captain has not ordered a PS5 or a PS4, right? The video game is not something which is necessity. So there would be budget restrictions also. For every category you've been assigned a budget. So yes, that due approval process where the company knows what you're ordering and the company can only approve. The captain cannot just order anything and everything and directly will place the order with the vendor. No, it will go through that approval process. So that's the answer to your first question. And the second question is about, you said, sorry, I missed about the wrong suppliers, right? So basically, the vendors that we are working with are, we obviously do our due diligence when we are onboarding them. The best part is that, even if there is something which is wrongly delivered to you, I'm just saying hypothetically there is something which is wrongly delivered, because we're supplying all over the world, we can replace it, exchange it, and or just issue a credit note to you if the mistake has been from our end. But that's what, the biggest challenge is not to make the platform. The biggest challenge has been to make the catalog. To have these sort of products with their pictures. Like I want to buy a bed sheet in India, I need to have whether I'm buying I need to know whether this is a Bombay dyeing or this is, which brand is it. So let the user choose, what he needs to choose, and that's been the biggest challenge. So to do it, for the world over, is a Herculean task, right? So, but I know that once we finish for India, which we will in the next 6 months, I think we'll win half the battle.
Yeah. Thank you. Yep.
I'm Kulkarni from Ace Insurance. I just would like to know, how do you ensure the rates are most competitive? Because there's generally no competition for your, because somebody is ordering directly from you. He doesn't have any competition. So how do you ensure the rates are most competitive?
Hi sir, nice to meet you. I think we met at the SCI office long time back. And though you really liked the platform, but you could not push it with the government. But I'm thankful. Good to see you here again. So, obviously, we are not competitive everywhere around the world, not possible, because the volumes are not the same everywhere in the world. But if you see places where we have our own warehouses, we are the most competitive, because we are working on very thin margins, 7 to 10% to be very precise. And even places like Singapore, UAE, Rotterdam's, where the volume is so much that we get volume discounts from suppliers, and that we pass it on to our owners. Just to give you a brief idea, last year we were at a monthly GMV, or as you call, monthly recurring revenue was about $275,000, and that is the average for last financial year. And this financial year we are at $500,000 already. So we are generating $500,000 of GMV every month now. So that volume, because has increased, the discounts have also gone up, and that discount we pass it on to our owners, and that's why we were able to get in so many owners so quickly. Because the discounts is, they're looking for discounts and we're giving them that. So yes, but again, as I said, that will not be competitive everywhere. We're not at that stage right now. But yes, I think about 70% of the places we would be very competitive.
Okay. Yeah, one question from you.
Good day. My name is David De Silva from Fleet Management Training Institute. I would like to ask two questions. One is there a feedback system on the quality of the products for every product or every requisition which is placed? And second question is, do you also deal with the fresh provisions? Because if you deal with fresh provisions, maybe it will make the chief cook's life better.
I can answer the second question. He does provisions for Great Eastern.
Okay.
So I think coming back to the first question first, for the feedback. So how you use Amazon. Whenever you order from Amazon, the next time whenever you go to the website or to the app, it sends you a reminder notification saying that, do you want to review your last order? It's exactly the same like here. Exactly the same here. You can a captain can review the order. The company can review the order. They can write anything about the vendor, the services, the online platform, anything, everything. So you'll have a feedback on every order. Secondly, I think provisions is possibly the most difficult market, but also the easiest to enter. In the sense that companies do not use ERP softwares for provisions. It's easy to enter, and there are difficult companies also because who really, really want everything, Great Ship, Great Eastern, Seven Islands, all the Indian companies. Obviously, provisions has that emotional value, right, attached to it. Even when I was sailing, anything wrong supplied, had serious repercussions, right? And so it is very difficult market, it is very difficult to maintain. But if you go and see our Mumbai warehouse, whoever has come there, we're very new. We are just about a year old, and this new warehouse is only about 4 months. We have got everything there, from a cold storage to dry provisions to not fresh. Fresh obviously has to come every day. But other than that, we've got everything and anything there. So that's why we're doing a lot of revenue making a lot of money from Bombay, because in 2 hours also we can supply. Provided we have the gate passes and all those sort of things, and that's what we are trying to replicate in every other port also.
One last question. I think we need to round off. Okay, let me ask a question. Dhruv, what is the difference between being a master on the ship where you are heading the ship and the CEO of a company, the difference between the leadership?
I've never, I always have believed that, sailing was the journey which led me here. I would never want to go back to sea and sail again. Obviously not, because I think that I always thought that I was meant for other things than just sailing. And, but today, whatever I have learned is because of sailing. I was 35 months as a chief officer, and to manage the crew, to manage the people. So you obviously learned a lot of people management from there. And now, when you have a team of about 40 odd people, yes, it is very challenging. But I think the most challenging part was to learn, different, departments, to learn more about HR, to learn more about, finance, accounting. So yes, it has been very challenging. It is a very different life here. But yes, the seeds were sowed back at the sea, and that's what I'm reaping the benefits here at shore.
Great. Thank you so much. Let's have a wonderful round of applause for Dhruv. Thank you.
Networking opened doors for you that degrees cannot. And I believe that's been the motto of Captain Dhruv. And all of us present in this room, we send best wishes to you that the company becomes a unicorn very soon. With that, may I please request Mr. Amar Singh Thakur to present a memento to Captain Dhruv.
Impression of how non-maritime people see maritime. There was a lady walking and then she asked me, "Sir, यहाँ पे 5 number का जूता मिलता है क्या?" And this is one. The other thing that crossed my mind is, how did you manage to get the funding? Because the moment they ask you what you're going to do with the money, and that was David's question, I would have said something like, "Lokhandwala में 3 bedroom का flat खरीद लूँगा." Please.
please request Captain David to be on stage? Mr. David, my apologies. Thank you so much for moderating the session, sir.